So going through the process of selling a home is actually the third most stressful thing someone can experience after death and divorce. And for most people, their home is their most expensive asset. Yet I find it crazy how so many people severely underestimate the importance of really taking their time to consider what questions to ask to establish who the correct estate agent or who the best estate agent would be to represent them and the sale of their home. So in this video, I want to cover the 3 questions you need to be asking any estate agent you speak to establish if they would be the right fit for you to A, sell your property for the most money possible, or B, sell your property in the shortest time frame possible. But if you're anything like me, you'd want both. So stick to the end of this video and I'll explain to you exactly what you need to look for. And if you're new here, my name is Hamza. I'm an independent real estate agent and a specialist in the marketing and the sale of the £1 million plus property market across Surrey and West London. So getting straight into it, the first question you need to be asking your estate agent or any estate agent you speak to is what their exact marketing strategy is. And I don't mean just listing the property on Rightmove and hoping for the phone to ring. That is not a strategy. That is merely doing the bare minimum and crossing your fingers. The importance of having a strategy, A, is to ensure that you then have something to hold your estate agent accountable to, and B, to ensure that they know what they're doing and actually they are earning the fee that they are charging. So the first part, having something to hold them accountable to. I personally provide my clients a 3 to 4 page document with a bullet point list of everything I will do and every marketing deliverable that will be followed through for their home to ensure that we're working on it on a daily basis. What a frustration I found with many clients is they are sold a dream on the first day by the agent doing the evaluation, and a couple of weeks down the line, they don't really have any clue what's going on. The important thing to make sure with estate agents is at the end of the day, you're hiring them to market and sell your property. Now, if their marketing is merely just listing on Rightmove, what is separating them from any other estate agent? Because everyone can list, even you can list a property on Rightmove. That in itself is nothing special. A marketing strategy with a clear timeline of what will be followed, along with evidence provided for every step of the way, is key to ensure that your estate agent actually has a plan. And make sure that that strategy is bespoke for your home. There's no point them using the same strategy that they used to sell a £700,000 house for a £2 million house. The buyer base is different, the market is different, so the strategy needs to also be different. The second thing I'd be asking is what their exact negotiation strategy is. From my experience, what I've found is the difference between a good agent and a great agent comes down to the negotiations. A good agent will be able to market the property and bring forward some viewers, but a great agent will be able to leverage certain aspects of their marketing to ensure that they are negotiating the highest possible offers for the property. Now, a negotiation tactic that I like to leverage is competition. As you know, I love to use the open house strategy when it comes to viewings. The difference with the open house is not only is it easier for the sellers to just clean the house up on one day, get the house ready on one day for all the buyers to come in, but it also allows me to leverage competition because they don't need to take my word for it when I say that the property is in demand. They can see it for themselves when they're walking around and they've got 10, 12, 15 other buyers in the living room or across the property at the same time. And I always find at my open houses that I typically get at least a few families who will come up to me and they'll ask, Hamza, what can I do to make sure that my offer stands out, or what can I do to really secure the property? Because obviously there's a lot of people here. And I always say the same thing. You can see for yourself the competition for this is high, so you're going to need to come forward with your best foot first. That means putting forward the highest possible offer you can immediately. There's no point starting low and creeping upwards because another person here could just offer higher and your offer could get rejected rather than countered. So a lot of my viewers are then incentivized, or a lot of my buyers are incentivized to put their best foot forward with their offers. And as well as that, the viewing process at an open house is so much more enjoyable for the buyer rather than what they may be used to with other properties they're viewing, which is walking around, the agent rushing them, making them get in and out within 10, 15 minutes. At my open houses, I've normally got catering, I've got food, I've got drinks, I've got music, I've got the brochures laid out for the property. And it's just a nice experience overall for them. And it's a memorable experience, which is key. So when they've done that open house on a Sunday and they go home and they have dinner with their family and they're remembering all the properties they viewed over the last few days, I can guarantee that my properties are the one that stands out the most, purely because of how unique the experience actually was. And the third and final point that I'd be asking the agent you're speaking to is what the communication actually looks like. The biggest frustration I found when I speak to sellers who've worked previously with a high street agent is initially for the first week or two, the communication was decent, but then as they got past week 2 or week 3, they themselves had to chase the agent rather than the agent coming to them with regular updates. And to be honest, again, that's something I find ludicrous. I used to work for the high street agents, and to be honest with you, I'll hold my hands up. We were doing the same thing. We had so many properties to deal with, it was impossible to constantly be updating our clients with what we're doing. That's why now, being an independent and bespoke agent, I'm able to dedicate more of my time to actually serve my clients and to give them regular updates. This is my business at the end of the day. So I'm someone who takes pride in being open and having my phone available for my clients 7 days a week. 24/7, my clients can contact me and I will get back to them guaranteed as soon as possible. Now, even when it comes to weekends or whatnot, there's so many times where buyers will they only have the time. They are busy 9 to 5 and they only have the time in the evenings to actually ring up and book viewings. No other agent is open at that time, but I will take calls at 9, 10, 11 p.m. if I have to, as long as it means getting the right people qualified and booked in for my open houses. The other thing I take pride in is giving my clients a regular update checklist of what I've done every single week. Now it depends. Some clients want to hear from me every day. Some clients tell me, Hamza, listen, just call me if you've got a buyer. But apart from that, I will send regular updates into a group chat so they know exactly what's being done for their property on a daily or a weekly basis. And to be quite frank, if you're not hearing from an estate agent at least every few days, that typically means that they themselves know they're not doing enough and they haven't really got much of an update for you. So those are 3 questions I would be asking any estate agent I speak to, and I'll leave you with one final point to consider. Not all agents are the same. Just like any other industry you look into, you've got different levels of quality that you can expect. Same thing with the estate agency and the property industry. And something I see really commonly done in the industry is vendors who are comparing different agents will compare them based on their fee. What they don't realize is the cheapest agent is typically the most expensive agent when it comes to how much money is left on the table due to their lack of marketing, negotiations, and communication. So bear that in mind when you're picking your estate agent. Look at all the deliverables they're going to be following and ensure that you've got something to hold them accountable to and they're actually being proactive. At the end of the day, you're selling your most expensive asset. You need someone who has a stake in this. That's why I love being in the industry that I'm in and being someone who's commission only. I don't earn a single penny until I sell my clients' properties, so they know I'm just as driven as they are to get the property sold in the shortest time frame possible for the most money possible. If you've got any further questions, you probably have my number already, but if you don't, you can find it in the description below.